Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be discussing and talking about the latest England squad, which has just been announced. We're talking about the England news conference that's just literally gone live. He's talking about how, and he's mentioned in the fact that with his new squad, he's mentioned the fact that he wants as many creative players in there as possible. And you can see that straight away. The only kind of biggest omissions really are Eberechi Eze and Jared Bowen. We'll talk about them straight away, about the two players that I missed out briefly. Eberechi Eze hasn't got off to a great start to life this season at Crystal Palace, so I can kind of understand why he hasn't been picked. Yes, he's a great player, and you understand, but the problem is with a lot of these players, I understand why you would pick on form, and I think he kind of smashed it with this decision, because you look at Eberechi Eze, he's got off to a really poor start with Crystal Palace, and the kind of players he's going to be coming up against for his position, the likes of Phil Foden, the likes of Jack Grealish's, Anthony Gordon, Madueke, Saka's, Solanke, Watkins, all of these players in that kind of front line, all these attacking players are in form. So I understand Cole Palmer as well. I understand why he's not been added into this squad. I completely get it. Then we'll talk about Harry Maguire. That's another big omission as well. I'm glad to see Harry Maguire's not there because he's not had a great season so far with Manchester United, and previously he's been picked under the last regime under Gareth Southgate. He was always picked no matter what. And I like the fact that what we've seen with Lee Carsey so far is he picks players on form, but not only that, players who have done well. So it's like a mixture of both. But Harry Maguire hasn't done well for England now for a while, so I understand where he doesn't have the credit in the bank like he used to before. So I kind of get that as a decision. Then as well, Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen, another one that falls into that awkward position where he can kind of play on the right, and the kind of thing, the players that he's going up against. He likes of Anthony Gordon, Madueke, Saka, players like that, Cole Palmer. And realistically, he's not had a great start to life at West Ham this season. And I don't think he's kind of been helped with the fact that it's just not going well for West Ham whatsoever. So I do feel like it's a little bit harsh, but I kind of get it when you compare kind of the players he's going up against. So that one kind of also makes sense. Now we'll talk about the goalkeepers. We've got Dean Henderson. So we'll actually, go through the actual squad now. Goalkeepers, Dean Henderson, George Pickford and Nick Pope. Those three. Probably the best three. We'll expect Jordan Pickford probably to start, and then Dean Henderson, Nick Pope to be the kind of backups. Ramsdale's been omitted from a squad, and I think I get that as an omission because we talk about Aaron Ramsdale and the decision for him to go to Southampton and what effect that would actually have on him going forward. And we spoke about the fact that he'll be leaking goals. Yes, he'll be making a lot more saves, but he'll also be leaking a lot of goals. So I kind of understand why he's not in the squad, and I think it makes sense. So yeah, that's why he's not in. So Ramsdale's probably the right decision. Now we'll talk about the defenders: Mark Gahey, Ezri Konsa, John Stones, Trent, Colwill, Rico Lewis, and Carl Walker. Carl Walker, I think really Carl Walker's the only one there that probably doesn't fit in compared to the others. All the rest of the players are probably quite informed, but I don't really mind it. It's because it's good to have kind of a bit of experience in and around the dressing room. A player like that is probably really helpful for the squad. So yeah, defenders, I think he's got spot on. Midfielders, Conor Gallagher, Kobe Mainoo, Declan Rice, Cole Palmer, Morgan Gibbs-White, Angel Gomez, Phil Foden, and Jude Bellingham. Good to see Phil Foden and Cole Palmer back in the squad after. It's good to see them two back in there. Overall, I really like it. I really like that as a midfield. I don't think again there's really anybody. Yes, I know there's quite a lot of people that said Angel Gomez don't really get it. He played well in the last couple of games for England, and I understand why. I know people don't hit me back with, oh well, it was only against Ireland, but it doesn't matter. He played well. He's been trusted under Lee Carsey, so let's just back him for this. The decision worked well in the last game. We'll just see how it goes going forward. Bar that, it's not really any massive omissions. I know we spoke about then the Eberechi Eze's and players like that, but like for like, Eberechi Eze is also going up against players like Jude Bellingham. So I kind of get it. I think midfield spot on. Then we'll talk about the forwards. We've got Jack Grealish, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Madueke, Bukayo Saka, Ollie Watkins, and Dominic Solanke is back in the squad. And you know what? Overall, again, I'm pretty happy with this so far. When we've spoken about the England squad's under Lee Carsey, and I think the biggest thing we compared when talking about Gareth Southgate, I think the biggest thing that we always kind of really didn't know how we all felt, and it kind of rubbed everyone a little bit up the wrong way. It was kind of a decision. It was always a talking point, is form. Every single one of these players, realistically, in this team, bar a couple, and the ones that are bar a couple, it's because they had a great tournament and things. That these are all informed players. There's not really anybody in here you go in, other than your likes of Carl Walkers, where you think, should they be in the England squad? Everyone else is in form. I like it, and I really like the fact that Cole Palmer's back in there, and I hope to see Cole Palmer getting a lot more minutes, because I think right now he's arguably the most informed player on the planet, so we need to get him in the squad. But overall, I'm really excited with this England squad. I'm really excited for the Lee Carsey regime, because what we've seen so far, it's very attacking, it's very fluid football. And I think that's the biggest thing. And he spoke about the fact, and this is a really interesting quote. He said, this is the exact quote. it was important that it wasn't just a copy and paste, because he said that the players that have been left out, they know why they've been left out, and this is the thing. It's kind of, it allows competition. I think that's what we need to do. Kind of make it a dog eat dog world with this England squad, because everyone was friendly and things, and before friendly's good, but you also want a bit of competitive nature where everyone's fighting for their places. Because again, when everyone's competitive, everyone then raise up to the next level. So I think that's really good, and I like the fact Solanke's in there, and he said he's happy with everyone, and he's spoken to everyone, and he's spoken about how Walker's in there to help the youth and things. So overall, I think it's really promising signs. I'm excited to see how we play in this international break. But thank you guys for watching. Are you happy with this England squad? I'm really happy. I'm really happy with this. And he's still interim manager, which is a big part. So, yeah, let me know. Do you think he's the man to take England forward? Are you happy with the England squad? I'm happy. But thank you guys for watching. Please do smash the like button and please do subscribe for more daily YouTube content. And I will see you guys tomorrow for an Aston Villa and United combined 11. Thank you. Goodbye.